Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Weather Forecast Center. This is John, here to bring you the latest on a possible tropical system towards the end of the month that there has been a lot of buzz about. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through several model runs, both from the Euro and from GFS, and I will explain what is going to drive this potential tropical system in the Caribbean. Um, so we begin with the Euro with the 500 millibar height anomaly. Hold on, let me get my pen out because I'm going to be drawing on this. There it is. Okay. So movie. Whoa. What in the world is that? That is not what I want. Okay. So do this. Okay. So starting off, this is starting off obviously with today. Um, I'm going to fast forward this to Friday. So here on Friday, we have a trough digging in to the Caribbean from a frontal passage coming through the southeast in the next couple of days. As we progress forward, the trough's still there. This is your trough. So your winds will be going this way, coming down this way, and around this way. So, and then you got your ridge coming clockwise, going this way. And there's nothing in between here. Now, they've been talking about this gyre that's going to develop down here near Central America. As we continue this forward, okay, now you got a ridge starting to build here, and then you got your ridge this way. So primarily your winds will be going from west to east through this area as this trough exits out to the north and east. As we continue this forward, now we're getting into next Wednesday here. Now you got a ridge kind of going like this, and then coming around up through this way, and then up and around this way. So you got a ridge that's building down into the Caribbean and into Central and South America on this is next Wednesday. I typically do not show anything past 7 days, but since a lot of buzz has been going on about this, I figure I will do a video on this potential um, system. As we continue forward, now you still got a trough here, okay? And then you still got your ridge up in here. Okay, so this comes down this way. And then up this way. So this is your wind pattern with the ridge in the Caribbean and Central and South America. Now you got a weakness or low pressure going this way around the ridge. So now you got your broad area of low pressure here. That's spiraling around over the Bay Campeche. Well, you got this ridge. This is as of the Euro. I'll show you the difference between Euro and GFS when we get to there. So now you got a stronger ridge here into Florida. Okay? So as we continue this forward, now you got a consolidated area of low pressure somewhere in here. And the winds will be kind of going like this. Come from the bottom, coming up like this. Ugly arrows. And then you got your ridge still in Florida, and you got this trough still here. And then you got your ridge. Your ridge is going up like this and coming down like this. So you still got a ridge firmly over Florida that's going to protect this potential system. Let me just make this better looking. There's your low. From moving to the northeast, since the steering currents will either drift it north or toward the north and west. And this is next Thursday, the 26th. As we continue forward, now you still got this trough here in the Caribbean. Okay, you still got this ridge here over Florida. Okay, that goes down like this and comes up like this. And then you got your low, or what could be a storm there. So your winds will be kind of like this, and then on the back side it'd be like this. And it's going to be a elongated area of low pressure here in the Bay Campeche into the western Gulf of Mexico. And it's not strong at all. So I'll take that all off, and we'll continue this into the end of the run, which is here. Now, you got a trough here. You got exiting ridge. And then you got another low. This will be your storm out here. And this goes up this way. So this is as of Saturday the 28th. So this is what the pattern, this is not a forecast. This is what the euro is showing as far as the upper wind pattern at 500 millibars at that point. Now we will go to the moisture. Starting off from today. Okay, we're going to change this to black. We'll do that. Okay, so you got basically anything blue or green is moisture, anything brown is dry air. So you can see there's moisture all the way through the Caribbean down here into Central America. So we progress this forward. Okay, we will stop it here, which is Saturday. You got this sharp cutoff between dry air and moist air. There will more likely be a frontal system right here that's coming down that will clear all of Florida. That's going to cause this trough just east of Florida. And again, all your moisture is all down here. So as I continue this forward, now it starts to flatten out. Your dry air is to your north. That's your dry air. This is your moisture down here. And it's all going to get its something out of there will get its act together. As we continue this forward, and we will stop it. We'll stop it here. Here is your dry air to the east of the moisture plume, which means Florida's in dry air, Bahamas will be in dry air. This is where your trough will be, pretty much. This is your potential storm, okay? Basically, most of its moisture will be on the east and on the south side of this storm. Not quite much here in the north and west, because there's a tongue of dry air that's about ready to interact with that. So as we continue, so now we'll stop it here. You got this big area, dry air that's punching down from the north. And then you got your, this is your elongated low pressure, or potential storm, I should say, with, you got southerly winds on the south side of this low. And then you have, again up here, and then you have northerly winds on the other side. So this basically is an elongated area of low pressure here in the Bay of Campeche in western Gulf of Mexico. And this is Friday night. Okay. So we continue this forward. We will stop it here because now you got this dry air that's punching in from South Texas. Your low would be right here. You have a piece of moisture that's going to go inland to its north, and you still got all of this moisture down here to the south. Let's try that again. We'll do it this way. So this is your low. Okay, this is not a forecast, once again, but now you got wind shear entering the north side of the storm. Okay? So this will relatively be a weak storm in this position, with dry air punching in from South Texas into the storm, and it's going to eliminate any possible development. So I will take this to the end of the run, okay, which is Saturday at 8 a.m. You still got this dry air down here. You got another trough here. So this is going to be one trough right here. Okay? See all the northerly winds? Okay? So now you got this dry air punching in from South Texas and Mexico. Your low is right about, no, that's not it. So your low would be right about here. You got wind shear to its north, and then you got wind coming at its back. So basically, it's going to be a southwesterly flow where that storm is, and according to the Euro, the storm will be rather weak in this position on the 28th. Now I will show you the GFS. Starting off same spot. That's not what I wanted. Get that off your screen. So we'll start off right now. So this is going to be the GFS model. So with the euro, they had a low down here. Okay. Let's try that again. So they had a too far down. That's good. So they had a low somewhere in here on the 28th with wind shear and dry air interacting with it, and the flow is all to the south, basically blowing to the southwest. Okay, which will mitigate any kind of development. So this is your picture today. You got your low, you got your trough here, and then you got your ridge that's going to come down like this, and then over like this. So basically, all of this wind is going in unison in the same direction, which is the northwest. Now, we will continue this forward. So now, we'll stop it here on Friday. Now your trough is like this, and wind is coming around like this. And then your ridge is coming south, or from north to south. Okay, something like that. So basically you have a northerly wind through the channel of the trough and the ridge. To the ridge to the west and the trough to the east. And then you have all this in the middle, where there's not much wind. So if I continue this forward, so this starts to get entrenched all the way down. Basically, you're going to have a northeast wind coming through the Gulf of Mexico around the ridge and the trough in Florida. And then you have your ridge in Texas. And then you got all this weakness in the white here. That's as of Friday. We keep going. This trough keeps building all the way down all the way down into the Yucatan Peninsula, according to this run. So all your wind is going to be from the northeast all through the Gulf of Mexico, where your strongest um, area will be in Florida. As we continue this forward, you still have this trough still entrenched here where the wind is basically going to be northeast through the Gulf of Mexico. Um, so there's a lot of wind shear going on at this moment. So now we will fast forward this to where the ceiling will be. So here we go. So now we step forward all the way to next Wednesday. This is your developing storm here north of the Yucatan Peninsula. Okay? Now your wind is blowing now to the south and east. Okay? And this low pressure is starting to get its act together between Cuba and the Yucatan Peninsula. Okay? So now I'll keep going. So now this ridge is exiting. You still got a flow like this, and you got all this weakness all in here. So that's going to start pulling this, because the wind will be something like this. So you got weakness now over Florida, whereas the Euro had a ridge parked over Florida and caused this is your potential storm. Okay. So there's no there's a like I said, there's low pressure here in South Texas where it was where there was dry air punching in from South Texas on the Euro. Okay, due to a trough that's coming in again into the southern plains. So that's your setup. That's direction of your winds. Okay, and this is starting to get, and you probably have some little tiny low pressures inside of these. but this is a broad area of low pressure here in the Gulf of Mexico. As we continue this forward, so now it starts heading north. Now it's getting better organized. And now you got, here is your potential storm. Again, this is not a forecast. You could have a little low here. Could have a little low here. Could have one way out here. But this is a big area of low pressure spinning in the eastern Gulf of Mexico at, this is next Thursday the 26th, heading to the north. Again, you have your ridge leaving. Leaving Florida, so you have all this weakness for this storm to go through. So we continue this forward. We will stop it here. Now your low will be here with little pieces here, and then you got your big, it's going to be a big, from the GFS run that I'm showing you now, this is showing a bigger storm as far as the size of it. Again, there's going to be your main low, and then you're going to have little lows inside of those, inside the main thing. There is no wind anywhere in that box. So there's no reason for this to maintain strength as it is, or possibly gain strength. Here, this is on next Thursday. As we continue this forward, okay, go to here. Now you're finally get your storm going here, which is going towards the Big Bend of Florida. You got a ridge building in here. Okay. And then you got your winds coming around this way. So now you have this position Friday the 27th along the panhandle of Florida, approaching the Big Bend of Florida. Okay? And as we continue this forward, it starts moving east and makes landfall right about here. Early Friday morning. Again, your ridge is moving it. Okay? So this is as of not this Friday, but next Friday. So that is the way the GFS is running with the height anomalies. Now I will go to um, the moisture part of this to show you what if it has any obstacles in its way. So we're starting this as of today. We're going to do this yellow because it's brighter. So you got all this dry air here, and then you got your moisture here in Florida, which is going to exit east, and then you got your tropical moisture down here. So that's your setup right now. I'm going to progress this forward. So now your wind flow is coming down from the north and northwest. Okay? And then it turns east in Florida. So now you got your trough is starting to dig in here. And then you got your dry air right here coming down from Texas. So that's going into tomorrow. As you can see, the plume keeps digging south or from the north. So all your wind is going to be north to northeast through this area on Friday, this coming Friday. So now I'm going to take you to where that seedling starts. So here we go. Now, stop it here. This is Wednesday the 25th. This is 1 week from today. You got your circulation will be here. Okay, you still got dry air here in Florida. But in southern Florida, the moisture has started to increase. Okay? And then you got possibly would have another low right about here. And then this is your dry air. So and then I'm trying to point out these features for you guys so it'll be clear to understand. That's why I'm taking my time with this video. So yeah, that actually this low would be so let me try this again. So this will be this would be right about here. Then you might have something over here. And then this is your dry air. Okay. Now you got winds here going west southwest. You got this here that's coming from the north. Okay, then you might have something broader over here. So there could be as many as 3 or 4 low pressure systems when this gets into the Gulf of Mexico on Wednesday the 25th. Okay? Your winds at the surface here in Florida is going to be south. And then just offshore, southeast. Okay? Then you got south. Then you got due west here. Then you got southwest here. Then you got due west here. I mean, there might. Then south. Then finally turn. So this is going to be your big. I'm marking all of these so that way you know. So you got winds going in different directions, pretty much around 3 low pressure systems in the Gulf of Mexico. Obviously, one would become dominant. Um, but you got a lot of wind changing directions. You got a southerly wind here. You got a westerly wind here. Southwest. Then you got northeast. Then you got west, then south, and then west, and then south, and then northwest. You know, so at this point, it's a total mess. And this is the 25th. We continue this forward. Now you're starting to get this wrapped up here. So now you got this here. This will be your storm here, your potential storm. Okay? And this is going to be that's basically going to be how big it will be. The dry air will not impede this. Basically, it'll be cocooned itself around moisture. The problem is going to be actually, this goes down. Let's try it again. Your problem will probably be, so this is your dry air. That won't impede, neither will this. Okay. Problem it might cause will be maybe a little bit of directional shear with this storm, potential storm. So as we move this forward, we'll move this to Thursday, the 26th. Now your storm is right here. Potential storm. Okay. And then all this dry air is all the way, you got your perfect kind of, you know, your spin, you know, basically it'll have its own cocooned area of spin. Okay. Then as we move this forward, now now you're going to have problems when we get to this point, which is 15Z on Thursday the 26th. Here's your potential storm. You have dry air punching in from the west, and probably and starting to impede on the south end of this storm. So being that it could be large, the fact that you're going to have dry air that's going to punch in, along with possible directional problems inside the storm, could mean that this storm will be on the weaker side of things as it approaches Florida and moves to the east. I mean, we're now 8 days out, so this could change, but it looks like dry air is starting to wrap into this storm on the west side. So as we continue forward, yeah, now you're starting to have, so your storm will be right about here. Potential storm. Okay. Now you have dry air basically impeding on the south end and wrapping around the storm. Okay. So this side may not have any weather. All the weather will be on this side of the storm. And as we continue this forward, the dry air is basically coming all the way around. And it looks like it's coming around up this through here. Your low is going to be right here, making landfall potentially in Florida. The problem might be how much of this dry air gets entrained into what could possibly be a hurricane. Because there will be a trough that's going to come in to kick this to the east. This will be moving like this through Florida as of this run of the GFS. Obviously, there probably going to be runs that are going to be stronger, weaker, or no dry air or anything else like that. But the time frame I am looking at for this is Wednesday to Friday of next week. And as that continues to move across the peninsula, now you got dry air coming all the way into the eastern side of this storm, while pretty much your west side is going to be shredded. And then it'll cross Florida and off the southeast coast, and all of the Gulf of Mexico and Florida will have dry air as a trough will dig in after the storm.